Okay, now I think I mentioned the other day on a film that I was going to put a new clutch in the CCM. Well, that's now done. But this isn't really about clutch fitting, and I didn't film it because there are so many very good how to replace things and how to fix things films on YouTube that I figured, well, why interfere? They're doing a great job. You don't need to see me swearing at a bike because something doesn't go right. Anyway, it was straightforward. I parked the bike up, drained the oil, pulled the oil filter out. When it was cold, I did that when the bike was cold, let it go cold, and then I did that. And it was a good 6 or 7 days between then and all the parts arriving and me being able to reassemble it. So it had a good chance for all the oil to come out. And when I pulled the clutch cover off, there was still some oil trapped in there anyway. So the moral of this little film really is, or the point of this little film anyway, is what's best to do. Drain your oil while it's hot, or drain it while it's cold and been stood for a while. Now I've just done the Triumph as well actually. And I mean just, it's still warm where I've run it up. I've just done an oil and filter change on this. Again, I knew I wasn't going to use it for a few days, so I put it on the jack so it was level, jacked it up, popped the drain plug out and the oil filter out, and left it draining for 3 days. And I'd ordered it online and an oil filter. That arrived, and this morning I went off to work for a few days, and then this morning when I've got a bit of time on my hands, I popped the new filter in, the drain plug in, and topped it back up with oil. I've just run it up now to circulate all the oil, and then I'll check the level when it cools down in an hour or so. So people say there are two trains of thought on this. Some say run your engine up, get the oil hot so it's nice and runny, so its viscosity is a little lower, then drop it out because you'll get all the oil out. Now I've always thought and considered that if you let the bike stand for 24 hours, all the oil, gravity will take care of getting all the oil to the bottom of the engine for you, get the oil all into the sump, then drain it, and all your oil will come out. That's the way I've always done it. I don't really think there's a right or a wrong way. And there might be a few comments on this. But if you want to do a quick oil change, if you're a motorcycle repair shop, a dealer, or you just want to get out on your bike in the afternoon and you need to do an oil and filter change, then I don't think there's any harm in doing it hot. But I've always done, and I suppose this is the advantage of having a couple of bikes, I've always done it when the bike's cold, so all the oil's at the bottom of the engine anyway. And the truth is, hot or cold, oil will still collect, as I found out when I changed the clutch on the CCM. There was still oil trapped in there, not much, but there's a little bit in there, so you're never going to get all of the oil out. There's little crevices and nooks and crannies and bits and pieces within your engine and gearbox that are going to hang on to the oil. So do what suits you best. If you can live without the bike for a few days, park it up, jack it up, let it go cold, let all the oil drain into the sump, and then drain it, and that way you'll catch most of the oil. But if you're in a rush, come straight in when it's hot. Mind your fingers though, because obviously it is hot. And pop the oil out, pop the new oil and filter in, get all your levels right, and then get out on it again in the afternoon. That's how dealers do it. Nothing wrong with how dealers do it. Nothing wrong with how I do it. You just make your mind up. It's all time dependent. If you've got plenty of time, take your time. If you haven't got plenty of time, get it done quickly. There you are. There's a top tip, which wasn't really a top tip because I'm saying do it either way. It really won't make that much of a difference. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me. Give me a like and tell your mates and subscribe and do all those nice things. And I will be back soon. Take care.